YouTube universe. What is going on, all my hitmen and Harley Quinns? You know who it is. It's your favorite mother freaking role model, the Buddhist Wusan with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful, Hitman Thornton Ferrari Action TV. What's going on, people? Before I even get started with the episode, I want everybody to do something real quick for me. You hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so when my videos drop, you will be alerted. Okay? And of course, when this video's finished, you share out there to the rest of the YouTube universe. All right? Now, let's get right to it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode DOS. All right. The Star-Spangled Man. Basically referring to John Walker, the U.S. agent. Thank you for one of my subscribers out there for letting me know about that real quick. I was a little flustered last one. The U.S. agent, the new Captain America, basically it's opening up with him getting prepared to go out there to do his first interview. Basically, he's been doing a big old press tour since he became the new Captain America. And basically, he is just that prime soldier, the person that was best suited to be the new Captain America. He was just the one that was the best qualified after all the applicants they went through. He was the one that was chosen. And yes, he is nervous about it. He's struggling with dealing with, handling all this. His lady came in, don't know if that's his wife or girlfriend, and his partner came in, who is, Clay Bennett, the actor playing Lamar Hopkins. That's actor Clay Bennett, and I knew he looked familiar. He was in the last time I saw him. I'm sure he's been doing work since then, but the last time I remember seeing him was in the last Jigsaw movie that he was in. He played a detective, so I knew he looked familiar. So that's kind of cool to see him again. Anyway, he came in, his woman came in to talk to him, give him a little pep talk, to encourage him, to let him know, hey, you're going to be cool. It's going to be all right. You are the best person for this job. It's a job. It's all a job, So he goes out there, they had a band playing, does interview. Of course, he was practicing in, the locker room, and of course, he's reminiscing of his glory days because it's the high school that they're at, that he went to. He's in the locker room, he saw his name on the thing. Well, he peeled off the current name and saw his name that's still on there. So just reliving his glory days and remembering everything, like most of us do, some of us, depending on how your high school went. So yeah, he had an interview talking to Good Morning America, and they're just chatting him up, they're just going over all the questioning and how he feels about being it. He understands there are big shoes to fill, and, he wants to do Steve proud, the whole nine. So, and of course, while all this is going on, while it's all interview going on, they shows Bucky watching the whole thing. He's feeling the kind of way about it, of course, because we all know he knew Steve. He worked with Steve. That was his partner from back in the day. Grew up together. Okay, and of course, the Falcon, Sam feels a way about it too because they've been in battles together. They did dirt together, the whole nine. So, and I will want to say this real quick. I am loving the chemistry Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie are having together. It's kind of reminded me of Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon days, back in the day. Kind of reminding me of that. They're bantering, going back and forth on the big three, androids, wizards, and aliens or whatever. And just them going back and forth on that. It was just pretty hilarious. So Bucky finds him because Sam's getting ready to go on a mission because he's after the Flag Smashers. He got some info on where they're at. And Sam just confronting him that he's still upset. Why'd you give up the shield? That's always going to be a running theme until Sam does take it up. but Bucky's always going to feel that way about it. All right, so he basically follows him on the mission, onto the plane, all the way until he leaves the plane. And that was funny, by the way, when Sam jumped out of the plane. Bucky goes after him, doesn't need a chute because they were flying too low to the ground, and it just shows him just falling through the trees, bam, hitting hard. And he's just lying there on his back like, oh, what the hell? And it's kind of funny in the his little earpiece, you hear Sam saying, I got all that on film, right? That was funny because that's something I probably would have said. And he shows Red Wing hovering over him, having him on camera. And he's like, get that out of my face before I break it. And so he catches up to him, and they're at this little warehouse that they know that the Flag Smashers are at. Of course, they're going back and forth, discussing the mission and all that, saying that we're not, Sam saying we're not assassins anymore, and Bucky just giving him that look, and he sees the opening he's going for, and he's like, man, I'm just messing with you. Come on back. And it just shows Bucky walking in the hallway in the dark and the shadows, and you hear Sam in his earpiece again fucking with him. Well, looking at you being all stealthy. Spend some time in Wakanda, you come out White Panther. And then Bucky gets back at him, and it's actually White Wolf. Sam like, what? So anyway, they catch up to, Bucky gets up to a spot where he sees them doing their thing, and he goes, all right, I spotted them, blah, 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 your steps behind me. Next thing you know, he turns, bam, Sam's right there. He's like, hello, how are you? He goes, fine. And basically, they're going back and forth how they're going to handle the situation. He's saying, I got a vibranium arm. Sam's like, oh, I can fly. Who gives a shit? So, and he goes, there's only two of them. Wait. There's not two. Hold on, let me look. Let's see what Red Wing sees. Oh, what do you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just going at it. The chemistry, the bantering is just hilarious. It's just hilarious. And then Sam spots that there's in the camera, there's the little infrared looking through stuff. He sees that there might be a hostage in one of the trailers. So they take off. It shows Bucky's skills finally. It shows him running really fast, other than his fighting skills. It shows he has speed, just like his boy Captain did. And Sam's flying out there, and they jump, and he opens up the truck, gets into the back of the truck, is looking around, and he says, oh, there's medicine they're stealing. He's just noticing the stuff, just letting him know what is in there. And then next thing you know, there's this girl that pops out behind one of the crates, and he goes, okay, I found the hostage. And it's like, hi. And the girl that's playing the hostage, she is Carly Morgenthau. And in the comics, the Flag Smasher's one person, but for this, they made her female, and they made the group Flag Smashers instead of one person, but she's obviously the leader. And it's interesting, the actress that's playing Carly Morgenthau, her name is Erin Kellyman, something like that. She also was in Solo, a Star Wars story, which was a horrible movie. I don't care what none of y'all say. Okay, that was a terrible movie. She was also played a character in there that was a part of a little freedom fighter type group. So it's kind of interesting. She has a little thing going in her career. Of course, she's done tons of other work, acting work, but that's what I remember her from. So, yeah. So next thing you know, they all get it. She ends up kicking Bucky clear out the back of the truck. And next thing you know, they all start getting into this big battle scene. Sam and Bucky get into the big fight scene. Um, the girl, she smashes Red Wing. And Sam and Bucky's like, I've been wanting to do that. And then next, Sam shows up, and they all get into a big old fight, a big hullabaloo. And next, here comes, douche, U.S. agent and his partner. They jump into the fight. And basically, they all get their asses handed to them, hands down. Without going into detail of the fight, they all got their asses handed to them. Flag Smashers whooped all their ass. Because bottom line, it turns out they are all super soldiers. They all got the serum. I'm sure it's probably a watered down version of the serum, but they all pretty much got the serum. Super soldier serum. They're a variation of it, basically. And Sam and them get knocked into a field, and U.S. douche and his partner get kicked off the trailers and all that. And so next thing you know, they're walking on the street. The U.S. and his buddy show up, and they try to talk to Sam and Buck, and they ain't trying to hear him. Dude, it's 20 miles to the airport. Let's give you a lift. So they get into the back, and they're all trying to talk, work things out, see if they can find some common ground. And 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 then Lamar Hoskins, who, like I said, um, was his buddy. Uh, Sam asked him, "We need some more than just you some field tech or tactical, field tactical, whatever you are." And he goes, "Oh, I'm Hoskins, I'm Battlestar." And Bucky was like, "Battlestar, stop the car. I'm I'm out. This motherfucker, they all think this is some dress up and costume. I'm out." And so Bucky leaves. That was funny. And and then John is basically saying to him, "I'm not trying to be, Steve, okay? I'm just trying to be the best Captain America I can be, you know." And would it be, so would it be awesome if that, Steve Rogers' wingman was at my side? It seemed like Falcon was about to buy it until he said that. And he's like, "Shh, there's always that." And he just leaves. So, yeah. So that didn't go over very well. And so they're walking, trying to figure everything out, where all these super soldiers are coming from or where they're getting their serum from. And Bucky says, "Okay, I think I know somebody who can help." So smash cut to uh, Boston, Maryland, I think it was. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down. And so they go to this house. They're in the hood basically, and there's this little kid. "Hey, Black Falcon, what's up?" And he goes, "No, it's just Falcon." "Well, my dad says you Black Falcon." "Oh, so that means you black kid?" And the kid's friends just start busting up. And he was like, "Hey, see, I got him." And they just keep walking. They get to this house, knock on the door, and this kid answers, and he said he's here to see Isaiah. And when I heard that name, I was like, "No, are you kidding me? Are you shitting me?" And it turned out to be Isaiah Bradley. For those of you that don't read the comics, Isaiah Bradley was the black version of Captain America way back in the day, basically during Steve Rogers' time. So basically when Steve went into the ice and was disappeared for some odd years, they basically had to find a new Captain America. And they were testing this stuff on black soldiers, which is kind of reminiscent to modern times, because some people are not aware of the history, especially, okay, bottom line, Tuskegee experiments. Google it. It's a long thing and too deep to get into, and I don't want to get worked up, but just Tuskegee experiments. Google it. All right? Just Google it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's kind of cool, and it just shows how black soldiers and all that stuff were being tested on them. And it's kind of interesting how they kind of use part of that with this, on how the black Captain America was created, and he basically was the one that survived. And so basically, he in Winter Soldier, went at it. So basically, anyone they sent after the Winter Soldier back then didn't come back, and so they sent him, and he basically whooped his ass. He said he ripped off his metal arm, and he just wanted. And the reason he let him into his house, because he wanted to see if he grew back or if he got the arm back, and he did. And he also wanted to see if he was there to kill him. And he goes, "I'm not a killer anymore." And they just end up getting into this thing about, you just think you can be who you are. And he just goes into what happened to him, being locked up for 30 years, being tested on, all that. And again, Tuskegee experiments. Google it. Okay? Just Google it. Tuskegee experiments. Can't say that name enough. Anyway, so he gets pissed. Isaiah gets pissed off, tells him to leave this house. And real quick, the boy that answered the door is Eli Bradley, his grandson, who in the comic down the road is a part of the Young Avengers as the Patriot. So it's interesting how the little foreshadowing some groundwork possibly, because they did that in WandaVision with her two sons, Wiccan and Speed, because they're part of the Young Avengers as well. And then later on, with Hawkeye supposed to have his series, and his daughter, she becomes a part of the Young. Okay, just pay attention to that stuff. Just let you know, pay attention, so you understand where it all came from. If they decide to go that route, if Kevin Feige decides to do that down the road, but I got a feeling he might. Um, so he yells at him, telling him to get out of his house. So they're walking. Sam's pissed off. How come no one said anything about this dude, a black super soldier back in the day? What? And Bucky says, we were sworn to secrecy. Plus, I felt he'd been through enough. Not even Steve knows about him. Because I get a feeling, and I agree with this one YouTuber, if Steve heard about dude, he most likely would have tried to help him. So this dude was like top secret. Even Hydra, because even Bucky mentioned that to him. This is the one person that even Hydra feared, other than Steve, back in the day. So that's saying something. That is saying something. Because back then, as some of y'all don't know that don't read the comics, everybody was creating their own version of super soldier serum once Captain America was created and came on the scene. Everybody was trying to create their own version of the serum. And if some of y'all don't know, that's how Luke Cage came about as well when he was locked up in prison. The doctor that was trying to test experiment, it was kind of similar to the super soldier serum, but just something different. Different, but the same. So that's how Luke Cage came about, in the same manner. So Bucky and Sam get into a little argument in the street about it. The police kind of sees this, shows up, and automatically gets on Sam for obvious reasons. Saying, what's going on? Can I see your ID? Sam's like, you don't need to see my ID. What the hell? We nothing going on. We're just talking. Even Bucky was trying to tell him. And this police looking at Bucky, is he bothering you? And Bucky gets pissed off and like, hey, do you know who this guy is? And police officer's partner was kind of whispering in his ear, oh, dude's an Avenger. Oh, my bad, Sam. We didn't recognize you without the goggles. Yeah, wonder what happened if he wasn't an Avenger. And in the end, Bucky was the one that got arrested because there was a warrant out for his arrest because he missed his scheduled therapy appointments, which is kind of like missing your PO in Bucky's case, because once he was pardoned, it was agreed that he would have a weekly therapy session, okay, to make sure, he doesn't flip again, crack basically. So he got arrested, but then got released. Well, once he walked out of jail, there was U.S. Douche and his partner, just U.S. Douche, was there. Hey, I'm the one that got him out. Everybody thank me, kind of thing. But the actor's doing a good job. Again, which is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son, Wyatt Russell. He's doing a good job. But before they left, Sam and Bucky have to have their therapy session because his therapist did show up at the jail, because Bucky thought that she got him out. He didn't. U.S. Douche did. So they're in the little interrogation room. They're having a little therapy session. She's saying, okay, you guys need to talk, stop the bullshit. Let's find out what's going on. And so Bucky just basically says, why did you give up the shield? Sam, Steve believed in you. And this was kind of something that was very powerful and interesting, because if some people didn't catch it, because he said, if Steve trusted you with the shield, he gave it to you. You turned it down. So that means he believed in you. And so that means if you turned it down and he didn't believe in you, that means he didn't believe in me. And that's powerful, because Steve went to bat for Bucky, believed he wasn't the one, he wasn't who they made him to be. He believed there was good in him still, and he fought for him by his, and Yeah, he just believed it. Steve believed in him, and he saw Sam turning down the shield as dishonor to Steve, and at the same time him, because Steve believed in you, he believed in me, and if you turning it down, then what does that say about me? Okay, so that's deep, people. That's deep. Okay, because he's already dealing with some doubts and struggles within himself as it is. Hence therapy. So they get out, they leave the station after the big old blowout, which didn't turn out to be a good thing with the therapy. It didn't go well. So they walk out. U.S. douche and his partner are out there, and they're trying to talk to them and saying basically they need Sam and Bucky's help. And um, yeah, they need Sam and Bucky's help. They don't, even though they have military resources, but they have certain protocols they have to go through. And Sam and Bucky were kind of reminding me of that. We're kind of more freelance. We can do what we want. You guys need us more than we need you. So we're going to do our own thing. You guys do you. And now that Red Wing's destroyed, because I missed this part, when they're in the truck talking to them, talking to Sam and Bucky, they thought they were tracking the Flag Smashers. That's how they're able to meet up with them. They said, no, we were tracking Red Wing because it's government property. Which also kind of alerts back to the first episode when Sam was repairing Red Wing. He goes, no, every time, the military gets their hands on this and try and fix it, it gets all glitchy. Which means that's probably why it was all glitchy, because they had a tracking device in there of some sort. That's probably making it all glitchy. So, anyway, so they walk away, and of course, without some quick words from U.S. douche saying, well, then stay out of our way. I'm like, I'm sitting there walking like, dude, really? You understand that Bucky can whip both of y'all asses without breaking a sweat, right? Shield or no shield, he can whoop your ass, both of you. Because they don't have a version of the super soldier serum yet. That may happen eventually. I got a feeling that may happen eventually. So they're walking. So Sam and Bucky are walking and talking about how we need to figure out what's going on. Where's all this stuff coming from? The super soldiers, and where's it coming from? There's only one person we can go to find out what's going on. And of course, Zemo. We already knew he was coming. He was been in the trailers, so we already knew that. So, but also the smash cut to the Flag Smashers. It shows them, heading to like a safe house type of place. Because basically the Flag Smashers are basically how they're pretty much setting them up in this show as basically a freedom fighter resistance type group. They thought the world was better when the blip happened. Okay, they thought the world was better when the blip happened. And now that the blip happened again and everybody's came back, because they're trying to restructure and reorganize everybody and get everybody back to their word and all of that. And that's what the GRC is, military wise, because the global I can't remember it offhand. Basically, it's trying to help relocate everyone back to where they originally were. So, because 5 years and all those people were gone, and a lot's changed in 5 years, they had to readjust everything to the people that were missing, to how things are now. And now that people's return, it's just probably flipped everything into disarray. And everything has to be restructured and refigured out all over again. So, and basically, the Flag Smashers are getting resources to needed people that are basically being ignored by the government and all that, because they're too busy helping others and helping people with medicine, food, all that. And basically, they went to a safe house to where one of the people that believes in their cause and and helping them out, food, all that kind of stuff. So I understand what they're doing. So basically, this whole show, it looks like this whole show is basically shades of gray. There's no good and there's no bad. Everyone believes they're doing the right thing in their own way. Now, later on, will be revealed who the real villain is. But for now, that's the way it's looking. Shades of gray on everybody, even Bucky and Sam. Because at one point, Bucky even said, we should just take the shield. Fuck all that. Take the shield. And Sam had to let him know, hey, do you remember what happened last time we did that? Let me reintroduce it to you. Basically in uh, the Winter Soldier, or Infinity War, should I say? Um, no, before then, I'm all over the place. But anyway, basically, um, no, the Winter Soldier. Yeah. Wait a minute. See, I'm messing up here. Anyway, Sam basically was saying him and Cap were on the road for on the run for 2 years when they did that. So we can't go through that again. We were on the run from the government because we were enemies of the state, basically. So we can't go through that again. So anyway, so they got to go to Zemo to try to find out what the hell is going on. All right. So again, like I said, with the Flag Smashers, they're trying to do right and all that. Then it shows a scene with the Flag Smashers loading stuff onto a plane, and they get a message, basically saying, well, they got a message before saying that we know from this person, basically, they got a message saying, you took basically what was mine, and I'm coming after you. I'm going to kill you. Yeah, so the Flag Smasher got somebody on their ass, and we're not talking about Bucky and Sam either. This is obviously somebody that they stole stuff from. Okay, and uh, so yeah, they're loading stuff on a plane, and they got a note saying that person that's after them is close by, and one of the Flag Smashers offered to stay behind to hold them off while they make their escape. And Carly Morgenthau, I almost messed up the last name, is, kind of upset that this guy is going to stay behind, one person, one world, that whole thing. And she's upset, teary-eyed, crying. Shows her on the plane crying a little bit because the dude basically knocked down a big-ass telephone pole, to stop the cars. And as he's running towards them, they basically lit him up. Shot him up full of holes. Swiss cheese, people. So, then next we smash cut again to this prison facility. Shows the camera going down the hallway. Shows this person looking at all these different monitors. It keeps changing different, and switching to different areas of the prison. And next we see Zemo in the prison cell. Get a close-up of him. So, yeah. So obviously the next episode is going to be when they go to talk to Zemo to find out what's going on with all these super soldiers, where are they all coming from. Okay, so yeah. So I am digging and I am loving this show, period. It's off the chain. All right. So leave some comments down below and let me know what you think of the episodes, anything I might have missed. Because obviously I did last time, and that one subscriber let me know. Thank you. Appreciate it, by the way. Yeah, favorite role models are not always perfect, even though I look it. Anyway, I got a lot of stuff going on today. There's a lot of stuff I got to do, so I got to hit the bricks. So until next time, this is Hitman Thornton, your favorite motherfreaking role model, the Buddhist with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful. Until next time, for Raw Reaction TV, and remember always to stay zen as fuck. Peace out, bitches.